I think someone said this the other day, if you want to be happy, don't be a business owner. So A players don't like working with C players because they're all trying to perform and win, and the C players are slowing them down.
Sometimes I'm thinking like, maybe I should have just taken a normal 9-to-5 job and work for someone else. Maybe my life would be a little bit. Do you ever have that kind of thoughts?
I did. I mean, I was an employee for 2.5. To be honest with you, I will never go back. I was also partying a lot. I was doing a lot of things I shouldn't be doing.
Okay.
And
let's not go into that. Mark McDowell, thank you for coming on our Talk to Talk. And actually, we've been talking about this for a long time. But just before we introduce Mark right here, I just want to give everyone a little bit of backstory. So Mark and I, we have known each other pretty much all our lives, right? Like our moms know each other. We were in school together, very young. And we became a lot more closer in high school, I would say, during our IB days, year 12, year 13. And then after that, you went to university, I went to university, and then we kind of came back when you started your organization from working abroad. You brought an organization into Thailand, and it's been really successful right now. I think if we were to say the name Primal, is that the correct full name?
Yeah, Primal.
Just Primal, yeah. So it's a digital agency, is that correct?
Yeah.
And does very well, has many big clients around the countries. If we were to go through the list of all the clients that Mark has worked with, I would say they were probably the top brands in Thailand. And I think that it's a great story because one, he is my good friend. We talk a lot about silly things, but we also talk a lot about business because if you go on LinkedIn, if you go on social media right now, there's a lot of videos of Mark teaching people about principles of business, principles of management, principles of marketing, and he has become like a mentor to our group of friends. So whenever we have like some sort of business problem or we want a different perspective, a lot of us would go to Mark, surprisingly, and we would like try to get advice from Mark. And so I think that today will be about his journey to success. And we will talk about different principles, about having the right mindset to becoming a leader of an organization that works, not only in Bangkok, but within the region. How he started this journey is something that I really want to ask more about, never had the chance to ask. And I think that a lot of things that people are trying to be young entrepreneurs, people are trying to learn like new things and try to develop themselves as they grow older. And I think Mark is a great inspiration for not just me, and I hope everyone would agree. So anyways, just to put everything in a bit of like, for everyone just to understand where I'm going, right? So we had a conversation the other day, right? We were having dinner, and then as you do, you ask your friend, you go like, so Mark, really, like, how much do you make, man? Or how much do you rev your company, right? In terms of like revenue. And then I was thinking like, I took a random guess and I'm like, 50-60 million baht a year. And Mark looked at me and he's like, baht? Oh no, man. And I'm like, once I understood how much he was organizing, the amount of staff, the amount of money that he's dealing with, I thought like, wow. So you allow me to share the number, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So Mark is now looking after a $14 million US dollar organization, which is what, if you put in baht, it's hundreds and hundreds of million a year. And I was like, wow. And it's something that he actually he started it basically. Yeah. So can we just go back to, what did you do at university? How did you actually get this opportunity to start this business?
Yeah. So the backstory was how did I even come to trying to start a business at 25?
Yeah.
So it really started with, finishing school here, then going to university in New Zealand. I only went there because that was the only place that I could actually get funding from the government to help me pay for university.
Okay.
Because my dad felt it would be better for me if I was basically paying for myself.
Right.
He supported with some small things, but
you're from New Zealand.
Yeah, so I'm half Thai, half Kiwi. Yeah. And so basically, paid my own way through university, took a loan out from the government to do that. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't so great at university. I failed my first year, so I actually stayed 1 year extra, so 4 years total.
My man.
Yeah, I think it's quite common.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I did a lot of things to try and make money, and I think that's where some of the entrepreneurial elements started to come out of me, because I needed to be creative to basically pay for things.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to stay in New Zealand. I really missed Thailand.
Right.
I wanted to be home with friends and family.
Yeah.
So I came back for 6 months, and my first job I got was selling barbecues.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
In Soy 39, the barbecue store.
What was your job?
So it was really to do marketing and sales.
Okay.
So if people came to the store and wanted barbecues, I would do customer service. The other side was how I could help them grow with marketing. So where to put ads, where to get more exposure and have people know about the store.
Right.
And that's where I started to get exposure to things like digital marketing, because I was just playing around with different things. But the problem was the job didn't pay so well. I think it was probably 25,000 baht per month.
Your first job.
My first job.
Which is not a lot for someone that went to like a university abroad coming to Thailand, right? Like,
yeah, the way I looked at it was how much debt I had because of my studies, and then how much I was making, which meant that it would take, I don't know how long, but many years to be able to pay it off.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Not low in the sense that it's low for the country, but it was just a lot. I was also partying a lot. I was doing a lot of things I shouldn't be doing.
Okay.
And
let's not go into that.
But let's just say that I was having fun, but I was also slightly depressed because I mean, we have a lot of successful friends as well with what they do, and and just a lot of people were making, they were much more comfortable than me. And so I was thinking it was just really difficult. I can't keep doing this. I need to change basically the pain I was going through of being poor, forced me to want to look for something else.
And just going back to starting, I just want to ask you a little bit more about like how it all works. Okay, so you work very hard. You go to your boss at the time and you convince him to start this similar business but in Thailand, and you will take care of it. So how do you get that kind of deal? Like, what is the structure? Do you have to come up with a business plan and like forecast all the numbers to convince them? Like, did you come with a startup, what is the right word? Startup like amount of money? Were you able to hire 5-10 people right at the beginning? Because when I started with one person, then two. But if you have funding, it must be a better direction to to be able to have more resources so early on. What was the story for you there?
Yeah, so the starting point was before I even took that job. Is I read PR articles about Nick, the owner. Yeah, and in one of those interviews, he had mentioned that he likes or wanted to expand into Asia. So I was like, okay, well, this guy owns an agency. He runs a business that I want to be involved in. He has aspirations to grow out of Australia. And he looks like a serious entrepreneur. So when I took the interview, when I first interviewed with him for the job, I told him, I said, hey, if you give me, I'll work my ass off for you 1 or 2 years, and then if you're happy with that, I'll take you to Thailand. And he said, okay, well, let's see. So I kind of knew that was always in play when I was working there. Okay, which is probably why I worked so hard, because I knew that this was the potential outcome.
All right.
So I think it's really just identifying who you're working for, or if you have access to someone who is ambitious, and whether you can help them support their goals.
Okay. Okay.
The second part was, yeah, like he trusted me because I performed for him. So if you're not performing for the person, they're not going to trust you. So he had 2 years of seeing me do the work for him. And then the third part was just simply making the ask, right? It's like, I think it's time. He asked me to put a business plan together. At the time, it really looks terrible if I look back at what it was just a 10-point PowerPoint slide, who we're targeting, what, fluffy numbers I think we can generate.
But it did its job.
Yeah.
You sold it, right?
I think all he wanted to see was effort, that I thought through it. And he knew that it was a good opportunity. So he was going to give the money anyways. He just wanted to see some sort of commitment.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he basically said, how much do you need? I think these days, if you have AI and people, you can formulate something very comprehensive if you wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah.
ขออนุญาตประชาสัมพันธ์องค์กรของผมเองนะครับ Environmental Education Center EEC นั่นเองนะครับก็คือเราทำห้องเรียนธรรมชาติที่จะทำให้เยาวชนเนี่ยออกมาจากโลกหน้าจอหรือว่าโลกที่อยู่ในเมืองเนี่ยออกมาเจอกับสิ่งใหม่ๆนะครับมาอยู่ในห้องเรียนของเรานั่นเองห้องเรียนนี้นะครับก็ไม่ใช่แค่ค่ายสิ่งแวดล้อมอย่างเดียวนะแต่เราอยากที่จะเตรียมความพร้อมให้เด็กๆเนี่ยสู่ global citizen หรือการเป็นพลเมืองโลกนะครับในอนาคตของเรานะครับผ่านกิจกรรมที่ได้ฝึกทักษะชีวิตแล้วก็ให้เขาเนี่ยได้มีประสบการณ์จริงๆอยู่ในธรรมชาติสร้างความรักให้กับธรรมชาติให้กับเขานะครับแล้วก็เรียนรู้จากการวิเคราะห์ฝึกฝนความอดทนของเขาด้วยนะครับแล้วก็เข้าใจหัวใจผู้อื่นนั่นก็คือ empathy เป็นสิ่งที่สำคัญมากในยุคนี้นะครับผมซึ่งเรามีค่ายเยอะแยะมากมายเลยตั้งแต่เด็กเล็กนะครับค่าย nursery มีค่าย wildlife ค่าย marine life สำหรับเด็กที่โตขึ้นมาหน่อยนะครับค่าย young vet สัตวแพทย์สำหรับใครที่สนใจด้านนี้นะครับแล้วก็ใครชอบไดโนเสาร์ก็ต้องมีค่าย fossil แน่นอนปีนี้เราเปิดใหม่นะครับ local life and culture ไปเรียนรู้การใช้ชีวิตในหมู่บ้านของคนท้องถิ่นเลยนะครับแล้วก็มี community service สำหรับนักเรียนที่อยากที่จะออกมาทำความดีให้กับสังคมนะครับสามารถเข้าไปดูใน Facebook Instagram EEC Thailand ได้เลยนะครับ And to change, like should you be, where should your effort be? Like should you just use whatever you have at the time and make the most of it, or should you like further your education?
For sure use what you have, right? Because it can be, through friends, it can be the emotions that you have. Like being angry is a powerful motivator and force. So, I could have easily blamed many people in my life for, me not getting the things that I want. But, by me choosing that, I made all those choices. That's just the starting point. And then use what you have. So, I had my job in Australia. I had my New Zealand nationality, which meant I can move to Australia to do that. So that was something I had. So I used it. I had access to an entrepreneur who had money. I had access to be able to come back to Thailand and bring that back. So I really just used everything I had in front of me. And I was probably very angry at stuff back then too, like angsty. So I probably used that to move me quicker.
What is something that you might have like at the time seemed like a huge, like you failed on a project or something that you did, and now that you look back like, whoa, that was the greatest fail of my life that has made me who I am today?
I wouldn't say I've had like big failures. I mean, I think I would say the biggest learning experience for me was actually because we grow up here. I grew up with maids.
Yeah.
Thailand is a very high service country.
Right.
You get everything you want. If you have a bit of money. Going to New Zealand where I had nothing, had to make new friends, plus living below standards. I had to do my own washing. I mean, these are normal to some people, but it was completely new to me. So just going through that experience was probably the most humbling and it drove me to be more independent.
Right.
At the time I hated it because obviously it's a downgrade. And I was probably angry about the fact that I had to do all that stuff, but looking back, it was probably the best thing for me. But yeah, I don't really have any sort of big failures.
No, but that's a good point though, because like I wish I went to university abroad, but I couldn't because I had a job, and like because I work with kids and everything, and I always like tell the parents like they always want to send their kids abroad when they're so young. Sometimes nowadays they send their kids to boarding school at like 10 or something like that, and they're always, it's either like middle school or is it high school, is it late high school, or is it uni? And I always say just do uni. Like uni is the best time to go abroad for them to really learn and be themselves, be independent, because here most of the people that we're surrounded by live in like really comfortable environments, and to be able to go that, it's like, and you could only really grow if you try to leave your comfort zone all the time, especially as a business leader like yourself. I'm sure you've done things that you just had to keep pushing, keep fighting, because no one else would do it. And when you look back, like, oh yeah, actually, because I pushed, because I didn't give up, because I had to do it, that's how I have the ability to teach others and run a business, right?
I mean, just on the point of failures, I've had many micro failures, right?
Of course.
Like at work, and I mean, being 25, you don't know anything about how to manage people. I've had situations where I think after our first year, we didn't pay bonus to our team.
Right.
I was telling everyone, oh, everything's going fine, everything's working. And then they're all thinking, okay, well, where's my bonus payment? And like we were strapped for cash, like we had profit, but we didn't have cash. And I was like, we just can't afford to pay for that right now.
Okay.
And I had probably 9 people in the room, all threatening to quit.
Out of how many people there at the time?
I was a team of like 12.
Okay.
12
so
people.
More than half of the people.
Yeah. And there's like, we're, this is horrible. And
like right in front of you.
We're all in a room together.
And and you're at the front of the meeting.
Yeah.
And 9 people say, I'm going to quit in front of.
Well, I mean, they were alluding to it as like, this is unacceptable.
Right.
And some people did quit.
Okay.
But, that was my lesson, to be like, okay, one, good to be transparent, but need to be careful about how to communicate things.
Especially when it comes to figures, right?
Yeah. Also just many, and then from that day forward, it was like, okay, like how do I structure things so that we can afford to pay some kind of bonus every single year? There's also other failures, like I think we just were going through some massive growth in like 2018, 19, and I basically just made the mistake of just hiring too fast and not really quality checking the people that we were coming in.
Yeah.
And then I would have entire teams like leave in the space of like a month. And I was probably a terrible person as well in terms of how I spoke to people.
Okay.
But, I had to like replace entire teams of people in the space of 30 days.
Okay. So you had to fire people, basically.
No, I had to hire.
Oh, hire.
Because they were leaving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. People leaving, so you had to hire real fast.
Yeah. So like, 10 people would leave in like a month from an entire team, and then I would have to go and replace everyone. I mean, it was just like, moments like those really make or break you.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a lot of like people problems. Like that must be the number one problem you have to deal with every day, right? Basically like managing people. And you mentioned about like hiring, and this is one thing that I always like try to talk to you and ask you about, like recruiting a strong team. Like, what is a question you always ask in a interview? Do you have your one favorite question?
Yeah. I mean,
because you did a post about this, right? Like the red flags of recruitment.
Yeah.
Right. Like little things. And I read that, and I really took that. Like little things, like if they come late to a interview, then obviously that's not a good start. If, like there was a few points, like what is
Yeah. So interviewing to find the right person. A lot of people focus too much on the skills, like can they do the job?
Yeah.
But I'm much more interested in, are you the right type of person that I want here? Which means it's more about their character. Because skills you can always teach, but you can't teach people to be better people, right? Or it would take a long time. So yeah, I really ask things about them, like what are their goals? What do their friends say about them?
Oh, nice. Okay.
So then I can see if they are aware or have self-awareness about themselves. A nice like curveball question I throw in at the end is just to show like, I guess their mental logical thinking is I ask them how many post offices I think, I ask them how many post offices do you think there are in Thailand?
I don't know.
Yeah,
เท่าไหร่
so
ให้ทายไปรษณีย์ในเมืองไทยมีกี่ที่
like how would you answer that? And it's not about the right answer.
I don't know. I would probably say something like, okay, there's 77 provinces in Thailand, so let's say like 10 districts at least per province.
Yeah.
So we're looking at around maybe 1,000 to 1,500 post offices.
Yeah.
Would I have gotten the job?
Yeah. I mean, that's actually really close to the answer.
What is it?
I think it's around 1,300.
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
the thinking is what's important is, you start with how many provinces there are.
Yeah.
And then you can come up with some kind of formula. Okay, well, Bangkok maybe has most. And it's just that type of thinking in the interview is...
Oh, really interesting. Yeah. And what's a red flag? What's a big no-no?
Oh, sometimes I'll just interview people and they'll be sitting in like a noisy cafe. And the entire call, you're just like, I can't hear you, And it's you could have put in the effort to, And then there's other things like,
they don't think that this is something that they would probably red flag me about. It's not in their mentality that this is something wrong, that I'm sitting in a cafe with music playing in the background asking for a job. Like it probably didn't occur to them, but I know exactly what you mean, and I see that kind of case all the time.
I actually reschedule the call. I say, this is like, please call me from a quiet place and we'll reschedule.
Okay.
But they never actually end up getting the job anyways. Other things like being able to have a conversation with them. Like, can you have a conversation with this? Like, can you have a conversation with this person? Does it flow? Like, are they answering? Are they asking lots of questions too? It's just lots of small things together. Yeah.
But do you ever like have these moments where you like someone so much, they're so good at the beginning, and over time it just, how did I get that so wrong at the beginning? How did I not see that this person was going to become like, one, not performing or whatever, or two, like, there's one of those people that look like they're working so hard but they're actually not. There's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of like, I don't know, you name it, like a lot of people that create toxic environments for other people. Like, have you ever gone through anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. All the time. We get it wrong all the time. But there are things that can help you get it right. So we do like 4-way interviews. So the first thing we do is we screen. Okay. So we call, we check salary expectations. We see if they have relevant history. We call them. Second one is we get them to come in and do a skills test. So we actually test them on something. If they're not willing to do the test, then we don't take them forward. Okay. Because we want them, if you really want to work for someone, you will put in the effort. Right. So that filters a lot of people out. Then we have them come in and we do an interview with the manager and we do a peer review. So we have other people in different teams interview that person too to see if there's chemistry. Right. And then the last one is we do a reference check. Oh, wow. Like people have to be saying good things about them in the market.
So when you say reference check, is like a reference letter from someone they've worked with or something?
Like we'll call their past 2 bosses.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
And you actually ask them.
Yeah. It's like, would would you work with this person again?
Hmm.
And if the answer is no, then yeah, I mean, it's unlikely that we would hire them.
So one thing that you mentioned is 1A beats 5 Bs. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so everyone talks about hiring A players.
Right.
So A players are, if you look at, and this is a very broad example,
Right.
but let's just say in most companies, 20% of people generate 80% of the revenue.
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
20% of the people in your team will be the ones making 80% of the money. Okay. That's just a very broad example, right? So those 20% are your A players. They are the people who are just very high performing. They can bring things into the business. Now, that's saying that, so one A player is, I mean, just the maths, 20%, 80. They generate 4 times more results for the business than someone who might be a B or C player, right? So the whole mantra of people and business is always hire A players, right? And pay them more. So an example, you could have one A player who you're paying, I don't know, let's just say 100K per month, as opposed to 5 B players who you're paying, less to.
Right.
It's much more worth to pay more for the A player than to have many B or C players. Yeah.
I see. Okay. That's cool.
I'll just add something to
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
So something else I see in a lot of companies is they try to push like a family culture. Like, oh, we're all so close, we're all friends, we all, like, you really need to think of the team as like a sports team.
Right.
Every single year we want to go to the championship, we want to win. Who are the best people I need in my team to be able to achieve that? And if you're not performing, then we need to make room for people who can help us win. And what I find is when you create a culture like that, where you have high-performing people don't like working with A players, don't like working with C players because they're all trying to perform and win, and the C players are slowing them down. So yeah, the mentality is to hire good people, pay more, hire really good people, and you don't necessarily have to hire that many people if you
And how important is it to cutting off things that are not helping you go through your goals? Like, I'm sure you probably had a lot of energy put into the management side, and then eventually you thought, you know what, I'm not going to deal with A, B, and C anymore. It shouldn't be my job. My job should be right here, and I need to grow the company. Like, how hard is it to cut something that might mean something to you, but you have to cut it if you want to grow forward? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just life in business, right? If something is slowing you down, if we're talking about people in business, like I said, it's a sports team. You're trying to win. If you have someone who's adding percentage points and you have some detracting, you have to make a change.
Right.
Ultimately, they're not good for the business. Same for your life too. If you have people who aren't supporting you, trying to push you forward, taking your time, taking and not giving, then consider taking them out.
Right. It comes in, like, what Chet said the other day, like on a podcast. I was just looking, like, I had this advice, like, my brother gave me this advice that if I have 5 friends, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in one hand, that's all you need. Like, you don't really need anything else if you have these 5 friends. And it kind of relates to what we're talking about, like, because like, when you're young, sometimes you think like, I want to achieve this, I want to be like this, I want to be like that. But sometimes, like, just do one thing, just focus into one big goal and keep walking. And once you get that one goal that you have, now you have like a bit of something to hold on to when you make decisions. Like, is this helping towards my goal? If not, but if you didn't have the goal in the first place, you're kind of like everywhere. You just take everything. I'll just do everything. I'll go anywhere. I'll say anything. I'll appear here. And I think that once you get that, it kind of, one, it's less stress for sure, right? Two, there's more direction. And three, there's more chance of you getting to where you want to be. Okay, let's talk about this. So what exactly is the job of a CEO? How many staff do you have right now?
We have 180.
180. And so you're at the top. How many are under you, like directly under you?
There used to be 14 under me.
Okay.
But now there's 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you made that.
I made that
choice. Okay.
Yeah. So I think it was, I wanted to be able to just focus on vision, strategy, and special projects.
Okay.
And what I found was that a lot of my time was being taken up by people management.
Okay.
Like having to deal with issues, speaking to different people, pushing things forward. So I just wanted to simplify things and then have 2 people report to me. And then I had the time to work on things to actually improve the company because I had more time.
Okay.
So what does a CEO do? Typically so I do a lot of vision stuff, give speeches, give inspiration, talk about where we're going. I do things like setting strategy. So the 2 people that report to me, we work on targets, goals, how we're going to get there, what we're going to do, planning, how we're going to spend money, budgeting. And then the rest of the time is I work on projects that I think are going to take the company to the next level.
And you mentioned how often do you have a meeting with the 2 people under you?
Once per week.
Once per week. Okay.
Yeah. The rest of the time we're chatting and things like that.
Yeah.
Emails, but like proper conversation. Once per week.
And surely when you first started, it must have been like a top-down kind of culture, right? Like whatever you come but now I'm sure it must be a different way. They have to come and give you ideas too, right? Not only wait for you. Is that how the company goes?
Well, I give them a lot of autonomy. So I say, here's where we are now. Here's where we want to go. You figure out how to get there.
Right.
And then I'll check to make sure that, okay, this seems aligned. This is not aligned. Okay, fix this, remove this, do this. So yeah, they have a lot of autonomy. But there's like some things that I'm very adamant, like we have to do this.
Okay.
And then,
All right. And in terms of like marketing, like you mentioned before, like people used to go do a lot of television. That has kind of gone down a little bit, I would say, because I guess when it comes to like digital marketing, you can go to your audience with less cost and much more effective. Would that be right? Because before television would be just mass audience, right? Now you can actually choose like which age you want it to go appear on their screen and stuff like that.
So the key difference is that digital, you can measure everything. TV, you can't.
All right.
TV, you can measure, maybe
ratings,
airtime, maybe how many people watch a particular channel.
Right.
Maybe you can see, okay, we advertised this shampoo on TV and our sales went like this, but you don't know for sure.
Right.
So
okay,
that's where digital comes in. We can measure everything. How many people see the ad, how many people click, how many people go take action on the website. We can even track if you see a Facebook ad and you go to a store and you buy something, we can track it back to that Facebook ad
to prove that marketing,
to prove that this ad made you go buy this product.
Right.
So yeah.
But what is mass media right now? What is the most effective like platform? Because this is like, as an actor myself, right? I ask myself all the time, like before it used to be like, if you were in the main TV channels, that's mass, right? But now it's not really about mass. Like it's more about like finding your niche and growing and growing that audience of yours. Like what's mass? What's the most effective like direction or approach to market a product?
Yeah, so I think for a brand, if it's a brand marketing a product, it's best to be everywhere, to actually be on TV, to run ads on Meta, TikTok, right? Because also to have billboards around the city, right? So you see the billboards, you'll see something on TV, you'll hear a friend talk about it, you'll see it on Meta. These are all signals for you to, now you're so aware of the brand. Next time you come to a point where you have to make a decision to buy something or use a service, because you saw it so many times, you'll think of that brand. So actually this is what we try to do at Primal is we run integrated campaigns, combining multiple channels to try to be everywhere where the brand's customer is. As a celebrity, it makes sense to pick a niche,
right?
Because you want to be known for one thing, right?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
I
I see you on Fortuner ads.
Yeah.
So maybe you're the
Yeah,
guy
you're a
who
Fortuner
does.
guy too.
You
You
make
have a
cars look.
Fortuner. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a Fortuner. Yeah,
I make cars look cool. What you're gonna say?
Yeah, maybe you're the guy that makes cars look cool.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
and I don't know if that's something you want to be known for, but that can be a niche.
I see.
Right? Yeah.
And how important is it to know exactly who you're communicating to? And I think this is an issue that a lot of like young marketers make. Like for example, if you were gonna do an ad, you must know exactly who you're selling it to. And as specific as their age, as specific as the area that they might be interested, like are they family, like, because we do marketing with EEC, and then at one point we always thought that okay, the activities are for the kids, but the marketing is for the parents. And the parents, how old are the parents? And you could kind of know that by the age of the kids. And what are these parents like? Where are they at? But before we understood all of that, we were just going everywhere. You know what I mean? And it's just, so coming back to the question, how important is it to know exactly? Because it determines what tone you're talking, what color ads you're making, and all that stuff, doesn't it?
Right. So, that's the beauty of digital marketing too, is because you can run ads to different age groups, different genders, people who have kids, people who... because social media collects this data on people. They're just basically data companies. And we're paying them to advertise to people. So you can do that and figure out which age groups actually drive customers for your company. And then you can say, okay, well, everyone who's above 50 doesn't really pay for my stuff. Everyone below the age of 30 does not either. So where can we focus the money to drive the most customers, which segments? And all of that can happen very quickly with advertising. Yeah.
It's amazing, huh? It's amazing how you could really choose where your ad is going now. Huh?
Yeah. You can probably target ads around a school. So you could pick all the international schools in Bangkok, like GPS location.
Right.
To advertise between mornings and afternoons when people go drop off their kids and leave school, so that when they're waiting for their kids, maybe they're checking their phone,
right,
and they see ads for this.
Yeah. So timing is everything, basically, right?
You can do stuff like that. Yeah.
So if someone wanted to be like in a position where you're at right now, like now that you look back, what are the main main skills that you would need to become like a leader of an organization? You have hundreds of staff, you're dealing with huge numbers. Like, what is the skills that you need to make sure that you have?
I think it really starts with mindset first.
Okay.
I think someone said this the other day: if you want to be happy, don't be a business owner. So I think it's just accepting that it's going to be it's not pain-free, it's very painful. Are you willing to go through that? For how long? And it may not even work. So it's accepting that everything's your fault. You own everything. You are where you are because of you. Deciding to go ahead and do that, using what you have, so the resources that you have, whatever it is, emotions, friends, money if you can get it, your own money, and then just taking that step. I think a lot of people get paralyzed because they think too much about the end. It's like, I want to have a $14 million business and 200 employees, but it's like so, like, no one can connect the dots, right? But the first thing was like to just, start a company and then think about, making a proposal so people know who you are, speaking to 100 people that you know in your network about whether they think this is a good idea. So it's more just thinking about what the next step is as opposed to, the step, how big things are going to be in like 10 years. It's just, deciding your direction, setting the goal. And even if your goal is, not to be poor. And then just taking the steps down that path and working through the challenges, the problems, and the pain.
You ever like sit back at home sometimes and think like, maybe I should have just taken a normal 9-to-5 job and work for someone else. Maybe my life would be a little bit. Do you ever have that kind of thoughts in you?
I did. I mean, I was an employee for 2.5. To be honest with you, I will never go back.
Right. I understand. I mean, it is very tiring, right?
Yeah. I mean, if shit really hits the fan and I have to get a job, sure, I'll do it. But if I have a choice, it's not. Yeah.
And also something that I've learned is the way you sell it is so important, Like we used to have one big package. This is everything included. And that would be light and sound. That would be a photographer, amazing photos, amazing videos. You get the full package and it's one price. And recently we've tried this other way. We had the same price, but we put the light and sound as an extra add-on. We put the other things as an extra add-on. And we show it to the client. And the client was like, oh, you guys had this the last time? They didn't even see what was included until we put it out on a separate piece of paper. And then they like to shop. And they're like, oh, you have this too? You have this too? So then you're making more, you know what I mean? Things like that. But also another thing is
yeah. Can I add something to that?
Yeah. Please, yeah.
Okay, so when you present, there's a lot of psychology when it comes to sales too, right? So if I tell you there's something called anchoring.
Okay.
Right? So you basically just throw out a really high price. So let's just say instead of 1 million, you just told them it was 10 million. Right? They've now completely changed their thinking around how much something costs.
Right.
Because they were thinking, oh, I thought it was like, Hassan or like, but now you just put it into you added more zeros.
Right.
Now they're thinking, oh shit, okay. It's really around 10 million. Okay. And then you can negotiate down.
Right.
So I think what we do a lot is we'll show them the full package. Okay, here's what 10 million will get you. We'll do everything and we go through every single thing that they're going to get. It's like, okay, or you don't have that. Okay, here's a different option for 5 million. And here's everything you get, but it's missing these things. And then if you really want to, here's a really low package too. And here's everything it's missing and you just get this. So because they can see all of the options, all of the features, and you've anchored it high, you can now start to negotiate better. And typically you'll end somewhere maybe in the middle with the middle package. And you might take the middle package and then add stuff from the bigger package into the middle one to show that you add value for them. But 5 is better than 1. Right. This is just an example.
That is very interesting, because if you were to give them a product, like a product of like 10 different things, and there's one cheap one in that list, that one would sell for sure, right?
Yeah. So what people do is they put cheap, midway, and most expensive.
Okay.
My suggestion is to make all 3 expensive options. So you just have a premium menu. You don't have cheap middle. You just have 3 premium options.
You mean in the pricing that you're proposing?
Yeah. Because people always pick the cheapest. So just shift it
up a bit.
Yeah. And it depends how you want to be perceived too, right? If, people look at a menu, wine bottle, you think the most expensive wine is going to be the best, most high quality wine. And people generally maybe go somewhere in the middle, right? So if you shift the middle up, you'll then have people picking from a higher price.
For sure.
Yeah. And if you want to appear to be like a premium, more premium company, when you price high, people automatically think this is maybe more high quality, better experience, better.
Just because the price is high.
Just because the price is high. Yeah.
And it's really interesting, you know, one of our friends in our circle that someone told me they did like a yoga, bring people in from the Middle East and do yoga classes, and then they charge like, I don't know, like no, Am's friend, friend. Yeah. I don't know him personally, but he does it, and apparently like he did a program and sold it for like something like 10,000, let's say, yeah, and it didn't sell at all. No one bought it, but he went up to like, screw it, 30,000, and then he attracted the luxury crowd, and now he's making a fortune, basically.
So, yeah, I mean, same thing when you price things too cheap. It's like, it can't be that cheap. Like, there must be something wrong, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen some companies do this. They ask their customers 4 questions. Like, for this thing that you bought, if you paid, like, what price would you have to pay where you think it's way too expensive? It's not value for money. And then what is the price you would have to pay before it becomes too cheap? You would never pay for it because you think there's something wrong. What is then the price you would pay that if you paid this, you think, it's expensive, but you still got a good deal? What price is that? And then the second one is, you know, this is an absolute bargain, value for money price that you would pay. So you end up with 4 numbers. And basically where you price yourself is the third number, which is not too expensive, but at the highest point where
people are willing to pay. Thank you, Mark McDowell, CEO of Primal, $14 million man. Thank you so much, dude. Really, thank you so much for coming. Maybe we could do this again, like sometime in a couple months. Like,
let's see what the feedback is.
Yeah, we'll see what the feedback is. I think yeah, we'll shorten it for sure. I mean, but I think we have enough for like a good 40-50 minute, you know, of something that could be quite educational and relatable. So, dude, thank you so much. I know you're a busy man. Congratulations, new daddy here, by the way. Beautiful wife, beautiful kid. You've done so well, and thank you for coming. And yeah,
thank you, man. Appreciate it.
See you over the weekend or something, man.
Yeah.
โอเคครับกดไลค์กดแชร์กด subscribe. See you next time ครับ Talk to Talk. I hope you enjoyed it ครับผม Thank you.